group is asking the city of Spartanburg to pass a hate crime ordinance. Laura Miller spoke with the group and the council to learn more.
City leaders say South Carolina is one of 2 states that does not have a hate crime law in place. But activists want to change that, at least citywide. The city has not introduced a hate crime ordinance and does not have one in place, but SIREN, known as the Spartanburg Initiative for Racial Equity, has asked the council to consider.
This pertains to their residents. This is making their city feel safer, and it's also telling them that, hey, you can live in the city and be who you are and be safe.
There are federal hate crime laws in place currently, but SIREN's leaders want more from the city. Because according to the FBI Crime Data Explorer, the Spartanburg Police Department reported 5 incidents and 5 offenses of hate crimes in December 2023.
It's not a ton, but one is too many.
Councilwoman Megan Smith says she is in support of the proposed ordinance.
When our state legislature fails to act on these important things, it's up to us at the city and the local level to pass an ordinance to express our values, that we are a welcoming place.
The SIREN says they've drafted it for the city to adopt.
We will not allow anyone to be racially profiled by their ethnicity, their national origin, their mental and physical disabilities, and that's pretty much what the basis of it. Also, the gender identity.
And when it comes to violations of the proposed ordinance, it piggybacks off of other cities, such as Greenville's.
As we have drafted it, would create additional penalties for crimes where someone is committing a crime with a hate component.
Like a misdemeanor and fine of $500. City Council member Megan Smith says there's no set date as to when the ordinance would be on the next agenda, but assures it will be very soon. In Spartanburg, Lauren Miller, 7 News.
SIREN says they'll keep speaking out during the next city council meeting to try and ask for it to be on the agenda. In this half hour, South Carolina's position as the first stop on the Democratic presidential primary is in jeopardy. Democratic Party leaders have considered changing the primary calendar. State House reporter Caroline Yaffa tells us what you need to know.
Early voting can mean early influence, and South Carolina is fighting to stay first in line. With new DNC leadership, the primary election calendar could be rewritten.
Democrats lost the 2024 presidential election. There's a great saying in business, is that winners never innovate. That's the truth also with politics. It's usually the losing side who says we need to do something different.
Being the first state to vote in the Democratic primary means South Carolina essentially sets the tone for the presidential race. Now other states, including Iowa and New Hampshire, are trying to be the first stop in the primary. Democratic leaders and political experts say diversity is important for the party, and the state has a lot of it.
One of the most important pieces of that equation is just the sheer diversity of our population. South Carolina is a very diverse state. Our African American population is significant in South Carolina, which obviously plays a significant role.
Black voters in this country have long been the backbone of the Democratic Party. The earliest states historically have been Iowa and New Hampshire, which happen to be 2 of the whitest states in the entire country. South Carolina, on the other hand, has a significant black population.
But Republicans say this will not impact them.
It has driven their decision-making process has come down to race. It doesn't matter whether South Carolina is their first primary or California is their first primary. They're going to continue to be radical and push people away from that party.
Chair of the Democratic Party in South Carolina, Crystal Spain, says many Democratic leaders have visited South Carolina, and they've had big turnouts in rural areas.
The biggest takeaway for us as the Democratic Party to see our Democratic candidates, our Democratic leaders, to be able to go over in very rural counties and be very well received.
The best thing for Republicans is basically to give Democrats a microphone and let them tell people what they really believe. I mean, the more they've been doing that, the better we've been doing here, particularly in rural parts of South Carolina.
South Carolina received the top spot in 2024 from a move backed by President Joe Biden, who won South Carolina's Democratic primary in 2020 after losses in Iowa and New Hampshire. South Carolina's win helped propel him to win the nomination. In Columbia, Caroline Yaffa, 7 News.
The DNC will start debating that calendar in the next few months and will continue discussions through next year. We'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more. It may be taking shape in downtown Spartanburg, a mixed-use building and parking garage that's planned for right next to where the future city-county government building will be. It's up for review next week. Julia Keener standing by live to break that down for us. Julia.
Gordon, that's right. This project will go before the Design Review Board on Tuesday. Now, if it gets the green light, it will bring even more life just steps away from Morgan Square and Fifth Third Park. Plans show a 7-story parking garage wrapped by a more than 160-unit apartment building on the old City Hall site, right between Broad, Spring, and Kennedy Streets. The 6-story building is also set to feature 11,000 square feet of commercial space in a public plaza next to the new city-county building.
Those few blocks are going to change in such a fundamental way that it really will not look like the same area at all.
One of the retail spaces is expected to be filled by Blue Moon, a downtown staple that sold their old spot at Church and Broad Streets to make way for the new government building. Owner Molly Cashman says they're excited to be a part of downtown's growth.
We do think there's going to be a lot more foot traffic in downtown, and we're excited to have a spot to be able to have a new restaurant in the coming years to support all of those, both visitors and locals.
Under a deal with the city, they plan to get about 4,000 square feet in the new development.
It's really a community gathering spot, and we have a lot of amazing memories of this location, so it's certainly bittersweet, but we're happy that we have a plan moving forward.
We're told the garage itself will be hidden inside, with 950 spots not only for residents and city and county employees, but far more public parking than what's there now.
That's meant to wrap and hide essentially a parking garage, because you know, we've learned over the years, and a lot of other cities have learned over the years, that that is a lot better for people's pedestrian experience, for their just experience even driving by, to see actual storefronts and, you know, development as opposed to just a parking deck.
The garage is going before the board for final approval, while the apartment building still needs conceptual approval. The Design Review Board will meet next Tuesday, September 2nd at the TK Gregg Community Center. Live in Spartanburg, Julia Keener, back to you.
All right, Julia, thank you. The 5-story city-county building got final approval earlier this month. Construction starts in the fall. They think it'll take about 2 years to wrap up.
Update now to some breaking news in Greenville County. 7 News has learned that one of the Greenville County Sheriff's Office deputies who was injured in a SWAT training exercise has returned to work. Some good news there. That accident happened last month and it left 2 deputies injured. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office says one of the deputies continues to recover. The other one is back at work on light duty. Authorities say they were injured when they were hit with a breaching round from a shotgun. They say the incident remains under investigation, but the Sheriff's Office has implemented some new policies and procedures following that incident. For those details, head over to our website, WSPA.com.
Simone, 504 happening today. Part of Blackstock Road in Spartanburg County will close to repair a bridge. It's a section of the road between highways 56 and 49. South Carolina DOT says detours will be in place. We have the complete detours on WSPA.com. There's no scheduled date for when the Blackstock Road bridge repairs will be finished.